Well, happy to be joined by my co-author, Mike Petchenik from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Neil Gordon. Our book is Trial Watchers, and Mike and I met almost 25 years ago, his first TV news job in Augusta, Georgia. And you write in Covering Criminals in Court, the first trial that you covered when you started in Augusta.
Yeah, Neil, it's hard to believe that was almost 25 years ago. It was a murder case, and it involved a group of guys who were charged with what's called RICO, racketeering influence corruption, in Georgia. They were accused of trying to rob a Sam's Club manager and kidnapped him at the time. And during all of this, the guy died. And so it was really my first big trial as a young pup journalist, and got to see some just incredible lawyering. They must have had some deep pockets, because they hired some of the best criminal defense attorneys in Atlanta to come all the way to Augusta to handle that trial.
And speaking of Atlanta, you got to cover some high-profile cases, and I guess even got interviewed nationally by Nancy Grace because the trial was just so interesting.
Yeah, two that jump out that I highlight in the chapter in the book. One of them was a daycare murder case where a young father dropped his son off at daycare, and somebody drove up behind him and shot him and then took off. And it ended up being this sordid tale of a woman who his widow was allegedly having an affair with the man who was ultimately convicted, not once but twice in that case. That was a crazy one. And then the one you referred to was a high-profile attorney here in Atlanta who was accused of intentionally shooting his wife while he sat in the back of the car and they were driving through a part of Atlanta. And that one got a lot of attention because of their backstory. They were just a wealthy family. It was very similar to the Murdaughs in terms of their stature in the community. And yes, Nancy Grace and company were very interested in that case, and I was on there a couple of different times to talk about the twists and turns of that one.
Well, to pre-order the book and to learn a lot more about some of the different chapters that Mike highlights, please go to trialwatchers.com, and we look forward to your comments as well. And Mike, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Of the St. Helena Sound, that